Alright, so a couple of days ago, I had a look at the new 1991 Brazilian Grand Prix scenario that released with this sort of Ayrton Senna mid-season update, and I was thoroughly disappointed because I thought that you'd be driving as Ayrton Senna at Brazil. Fairly self-explanatory. The update and the season is about Senna, it's at Brazil, but no, they decided to do something radical. They took a scenario from F1 23. I made a video on this scenario as well. You can find it from 8 months back, and then they just changed the driver. So instead of Hamilton, you drive as Norris. You have the same gearbox problem. You are being chased by the same drivers, Leclerc and Alonso, and Leclerc DNFs on the same lap and part of the track as the one in F1 23. So it's exactly the same with different drivers, which I thought was absolutely incredible. So that was just crap. But today, we have the other thing that they released. The Gabriel Bortoleto, of course, the current F2 championship leader, looking like the favourite to join Sauber next year in F1. He's got himself a little bit of a pro challenge. Now, I will say he's been a bit hard done by here because, as you can see by looking at the description, it says, ever wondered how quick F2 drivers are on F1 24? Take to the track and see how you compare with the greatest drivers in the world. Now that is a bit of a lie, really. It's a bit of a joke, because not only is there a decent chance that Bortoleto's time was taken on a controller, which of course is fairly normal, most people playing this game are on a controller, it's just he isn't going to be that fast if he's on something that he's never used before. I doubt he's played that many computer games, you know what I mean? He's probably spent most of his time with a wheel. Not only that, but he also uses every single assist like they always do in pro challenges, and there is a 100% chance that he has been told to be a bit slow on purpose so that the majority of the player base can beat this lap time. Nothing wrong with that. That's great, but don't advertise it as this is Bortoleto's peak lap, do you know what I mean? But what I thought I'd do before we start is show you the rewards that you get rather than showing them at the end. So if you beat the bronze lap time, which to be honest, if you don't, the only thing I can assume is that you got no hands. Which if you do, my apologies, my condolences, but that is the only way that you are not going to be able to beat the bronze time. So if you beat it, you do get a suit that we can see plenty of. Definitely, that's great. Little great preview there. It's the McLaren F1 30th anniversary of Senna's passing special suit. If you complete the silver time, if you beat the silver time, I thought you actually get a different award as well for beating the bronze time. You actually get some gloves as well with a 1080p HD model as well. If you beat the silver time, you get this very, very nice looking helmet. I actually really, really like this. I'm thinking of actually using it in my driver career that I do off camera, because that is really, really cool. This is, you see there's Oscar Piastri's Monaco helmet, and then if you beat the gold time, you get McLaren's Monaco, was it Monaco? I think it was Monaco, their special livery that they use, which is pretty mid, but at least it's a reward, it's a customization item. This is positive stuff. So, without further ado, let's get to the track and see if I can beat this first try. I should be able to. Alright, so here we are, in the time trial mode. Now, there is one thing that will let me down today, potentially, and that is my setup. Now, can you download the fastest driver setups? See, you can't, which is a bit crap, really, because, I only have a race setup, a setup specifically made for a race. The race car and the time trial car couldn't be more different. The setups that you run are basically polar opposites, so I'm just going to use the race setup and just hope it gives me enough. Alright, little fun fact for you all, this is my first ever lap of time trial on this entire game. I have never really played time trial, I probably have like 10 hours total, so let's see how this goes. Into turn 1, I'm going to brake where it tells me. Okay, a little bit later, but that's fine. Massive snap of oversteer, of course. In time trial, you do have to be very, very careful of track limits, because, you know, you can't really change it. It's always locked to strict. I usually play on just regular, but I usually don't go off the track anyway. I just can't really be bothered constantly dealing with penalties for going off by like 2 inches. But my sector 1 doesn't seem too bad. As you can see, I'm 5 seconds up on the bronze time. This should be easy flat. That it was, but I went a bit too much on the inside, so that lost me a little bit of time. But honestly, even with this setup, and I'll show you lot after if you want to copy it, I don't care. I know some pro drivers get really insecure about their setups and brake biases. Get a life, you're a loser. Anyway, yeah, I'll show my setup at the end. It's very bog standard. fastest sector 2, which you'd expect, and I am now 13 seconds up on the bronze lap time. And even though this lap has been pretty smelly, I think I'm about to beat the gold time. So here we come, across the line. It's a very mediocre lap, it's a very average lap, but I think I just done it. It's a 1 minute 8.4, like I said, very bog standard. I reckon I could beat that in like a normal qualifying session. That was that slow. And it doesn't actually say what the gold time was, so all you can really do is advance and see if I beat it. This is a world record for the shortest footprint video I've ever released, because, well, if I've done it, then yeah, here we go. Did I do it? And I did, because I have the livery. So there you go, there's the livery, there's the helmet, there's the suit, and there are the gloves. Nice, we've got that. I don't know where any of this stuff is either. And there you go, first try. Now, I can't actually tell you what lap time you'd have to beat to get gold. I don't actually know. There isn't a way to find out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back in and see if I can beat my own lap time, which was a 1 minute 8.4, which I should be able to do. Also, for those who remotely care, you can just go on the internet and search for Brazil setup. Here's my setup. I'll just quickly flick through it. You can just pause it and copy it. I literally just googled Brazil race setup, and this is what I, just got by searching that. And obviously, if you want a more time trial specific setup to help you out, just do that as well. Brazil time trial and setup, and you'll probably find one. But let's see if I can beat my own lap time, because a 1 minute 8.4, like I said, is a bit average. I reckon I can definitely beat that. Probably not by much. I don't think I'm getting into like the 1 minute 7s or anything. But there is definitely more time in this car. I wish I could just find out what the lap time is. I might have a look on the EA Sports F1 Twitter and see if it says there, but it's got to be like a 1 minute 9 something. So into turn 1, pretty much bang on the brakes there. Got to be really careful on the exit. Probably go flat now. That was pretty good. Already found myself about a 10th of a second up. I'd say if you get into the 1 minute 8, you've basically done it. But you might get away with a 1 minute 9. Into turn number 4. Very nice. Get the exit down. That was pretty good. Found a little bit more time. Now this next corner, I need to make sure that I use a little bit less braking and I stay far on the outside. That was a lot nicer. Brake into the next corner. Keep it nice and tight. Be careful on the exit. Even though I'm on brand new softs with no fuel and no tyre wear, the exits are very, very tricky. That was quite nice. Pretty much perfect braking. Very, very clean exit. Around the big loop. On the exit curb. Brake pretty late. Hit the apex. Get on the exit. And is that not just different class? So when I said about a minute and a half ago I'm not getting into 1 minute 7s or anything, I have just gone and set in a 1 minute 7.882. Very nice, that's excellent. I did not think I had that in the locker, but fair play to me. So a 1 minute 7.8, that's actually probably going to be, well, it definitely will be my personal best on this game, because I'll probably never touch time trial again. But I feel like even if I grinded the game, I'm not going to be able to beat that time. That is a very, very good lap time for me. Let's actually go back to the garage. I'm quite glad about this. If you beat the lap time by Bortoleto, you just get sent out of the event. But if you go in it again, you can actually have a look at the leaderboard. So going off that lap time, I actually move into the top 7% overall. I don't think that's too bad. I mean, on F1 23, I had a lot of lap times that were in the top 2%. I know Silverstone, I was only half a second off Lucas Blakely, and Saudi Arabia I was like top 1%, but that was it. But the reason I was probably so quick around Silverstone is that I drove 400 laps around there in 2 days. And it was all for practice for a league race that I went on to get pole position in, but then I spun on the first corner and finished 7th, so it was all a waste of time. But, 2,100 out, 30,000 players, top 2,000, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm actually curious to see what the top 5% lap time was, but I feel like it's going to take a bit too long to scroll. So for the top 5% overall, which is usually my target when it comes to time trial, is a 1 minute 7.689. So just under 2 tenths quicker than me currently. And one thing that's actually very interesting to me is I'm usually easily in the top 100 quickest for people that use manual gears and ABS. But you look here, there's quite a few people in, like, especially here, like, these people, for example. You. I don't know who you are, but you have traction control, automatic gears, and ABS, and you are going nearly, well, 2/10 faster than me. That's very impressive. I do think if I actually used a time trial setup, I could go a lot quicker. But like I said, I have no desire to actually pursue time trial, make it a thing. I might actually make a poll on my channel in the next couple of days and ask if you want me to start a series grinding to try and get top 5% on every time trial, like, circuit. I did it on F123, maybe like 2 episodes. They were crap, but I still done it. So let me know if you want to see that. But I think that's going to be all from me today. I don't think there's anything else left to cover. You know, I've been through everything. I've beat Bortoleto's lap time. Like I said, if you get into the 1-minute 8s, I think you have 100% got the gold time and got all the rewards. And, you know, I then went on to improve my lap time by nearly over half a second and going to 1-minute 7s. So, I'm well pleased with that. To be honest, normal career mode videos and F1 Manager videos will be returning soon. I was a bit busy over the last couple of days, of course, with the Mexican Grand Prix weekend, which is now over and done with. Next week, we have the Brazilian Grand Prix weekend. I'll be live watching every single session. It's a sprint weekend. It starts, I think, 2:30 p.m. BST on Friday. I hope to see you there. But that's all. That's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck beating Bortoleto's time. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Bye.